Hi there, Tamara Doris, your real estate professional and real estate professor. And today I want to talk to you about something that is specifically for sellers. And it's really, really important. And I want you to think about it before your listing goes live. Here's the deal. I have someone who came and knocked on my door, quite physically, someone I don't really know, but she knocked on my door and said, I know you're an agent. Would you list my house? I'm going to move into a senior facility. Of course I will. So we did all the prep work, and part of when someone is moving and downsizing, whether it's a probate sale or an estate sale, or they're just downsizing, part of my service package is I will help host your yard sale. It's just something I do. I love yard sales. And so I've got all the, the prices and all the little pin to see that it's a $100 bill to make sure it's real, and the fanny pack and the whole 9 yards. I like doing them, and I like serving my sellers. So we had been working and getting things ready for her home to go live. Well, she texted me yesterday and she said, okay, the cleaners are here. The junk has been hauled off. All of these things that I helped her with, right? And can we list it on Saturday? And she asked me this on a Tuesday night. And I said, let's slow down a little bit. Here's what I know. The first 7 days that your listing goes live are the most essential. And I said, no, let's wait until next week. And she's like, why? Well, this Sunday is Easter, and a lot of people celebrate Easter. So if I make your listing go live on Saturday, nobody's going to see it on Sunday. So we just lost a weekend. On top of that, it was Tuesday night that she asked me this, and I have to have professional photography. And it depends when I want the weather to be just right for professional photography, right? I can do it in any weather. But the point is that I knew that we would have better weather on Thursday. Professional photography takes time. It's not using your iPhone or your Android and going and taking pictures and throwing them up on MLS. No, I use a photographer who takes things through Lightroom and does all of this work to make sure that the photos are absolutely the best representation of the property. Next, I like to plan a big open house surprise. I like to unveil a new listing by getting some anticipation going. So I might put a coming soon sign in the yard. It's not allowed in all MLSs, but if I can get away with it, I do. I start showing little pictures here and there on social media saying coming soon in Carmichael or Sacramento or wherever the listing is. I start to get a little bit of anticipation. The anticipation in the consumer buyer's mind releases dopamine, and they get excited about it. And they're going to associate whatever they got excited about with whatever they were looking at. So I get a little anticipation going with the buyers. And then I like to run a Facebook ad for the open house. I also like to print up some things just on my printer and take them to all the neighbors in the area so people know that I'm holding an open house. And not only am I holding an open house, it's an open house extravaganza. What does that mean? That means I'm going to have refreshments. I'm going to have prizes. I'm going to have drawings. I want people in that house. So I'm going to go way out of my way to make sure that happens. And of course, I'm going to use a ton of signs. So these are all some of the things that take planning, because that first 7 days, when your listing hits the market, I need to have all the moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts, and I need to make sure they're all in order, because I could just say, sure, like a lot of agents, let me just get it live in MLS. And then what do? They're off to the next listing. A lot of agents, and not ones who have gone through my training, but a lot of agents just will take your listing, put it in MLS, and then they'll be busy and they'll be gone and they'll be working on getting the next listing. Because to them, real estate is a numbers game. To me, it's a relationship game. It's a human relationship game. When I enter into a relationship with a seller, you're not going to get rid of me really easy, right? I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I get you top dollar. I'm going to honor all my guarantees. And then I'm going to stay in touch with you. I won't bug you, but you'll be on my holiday card list, right? And every now and then I may have an event that I invite you to. No pressure, but I create relationships. And it's really hard to go every day texting or talking to someone and then all of a sudden cold turkey, you never talk to them again. I mean, that's kind of how the real estate business is. But I don't like that because I want to be a full service to my clients. I had a yard sale for one of my clients, and someone from across the street came over, and his house was on the market. And he said, wow, you're the agent and you're helping? And I said, yeah, I am, because this is part of my service package. I said, I'm helping her do this, this, this. And he said, well, what are you going to do when it goes live, when you list it? And I said, this, 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 this. And he's like, wow, you must charge a lot. And I have to be careful because it's illegal and unethical to talk too much about commissions, especially in a public forum like YouTube. But I told him what my commission was. I told him this is what my fee is. And he just about, his jaw went to the ground. He's like, oh my God, that's what the woman whose sign is in my yard is charging me. And I said, I don't know what to say because I work for my money. And he wanted right at that moment to know if he could fire her and hire me. And I said, no, that would be unethical. It's illegal for one agent to solicit another agent's listing or buyer. It's just illegal. And I just would never do it anyway. So, I gave him some tips that will help him get more bang for his buck. Keep the house staged, keep it clean, ask your agent what kind of marketing she's doing. And I even kind of maybe crossed a line with that. So I'm very, very careful because I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble or that would ruin, his situation. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to list his property, even if he begs me, because that wouldn't be right of me. But what I'm trying to get across here is all agents are not created equal. That's an important point. But the point of this whole video is so that you understand that if you have, even if you're not in Sacramento, if you have a listing and you're eager and just really want to get it on the market and you want your agent, you're like, okay, let's go. If the agent is wise enough to say, slow down, let me do what I do so that I can get you the most bang for your buck. Because if we market it, if we just put it in MLS, and I don't even have photographs processed yet, and we don't even have the photos on MLS, and people just come and see it, and we get an offer, and the seller's like, yeah, let's just take that. How much more could I have gotten for that property? A lot, in most cases. So trust your agent. If you're in the Sacramento area, trust me, call me. Let's have a Zoom call. Click on the link below, and let's set up a time to chat, because I'm telling you that who you choose is more important than when you choose to sell. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to click on subscribe. Have a great day.